live, hopefully. Hopefully people can see us, and hopefully they can hear us, and hopefully all our cameras are in the right spots, because that was a bit fiddly right now. Need to find a better way of doing that. So welcome back. We are going to play some Conan again, and we've got one of our usual players who cannot make it, but we have a new face in the oh. You just want to very briefly introduce yourself and maybe your character for those who might have missed the Vultures of Shem sessions.
Probably I'll be called Reluctant Artsy or something like that. My character is Shira. She is a Turan who is a mix between a Hyperborean father and a Kittian mother, born on as kind of cursed, and had a very serious bunch of bad events that led to her being eventually priested kind of against her will, and then captured and learned the skill of discussion, conversation, intimidation, and an assassination, and some nasty things with whips. So we'll see how that plays out.
Plays with whips. That's definitely
plays with whips.
Good moniker. So, who wants to go next? How about Krios?
I am Krios. I am a Sonian archer, born in the Westermark to a family who were sort of crafters. Unfortunately, and I was quite different to my brothers in that I was a bit more of a wayward spirit, and I would spend a lot of my time traveling the woods, scouting, hunting, and providing for the family. Unfortunately, at one point, whilst out, my parents were cruelly murdered by a Pictish warband that crossed the Black River, and I was not there to save them, which played on my mind quite a lot, and I kind of went a bit rogue, hunting down any opportunity to take out Picts, living wild in the marches, and occasionally crossing into the Pictish wilderness. Eventually, I met up with a merchant band that offered me a alternative life with potential riches and something different from this wild life I was living, which I joined, which brought me across Argos into Shem, and here I am after a small little skirmish over the last few days.
Okay. Got involved in a big battle, but okay. Watch the previous episodes if you want to know what this small little skirmish was all about. Right. JR, how about you, Nick?
Alright, so Motas, during his early life, he usually liked to stay and read a lot more, mostly because he was sickly, so he spent his time inside reading and researching. And as he grew older, he went to schooling instead of training to become in the army. But then he realized soon after that he needed to kind of explore the world to research more further and to get his funds, since you can't just research and explore with no money. He joined the Khorajan army to make some sort of money and met everyone here in this group.
Yeah, that's how you got the gang together as part of the Khorajan army. Okay, and that leaves Jules.
My character's name is Dorso. He's a Stygian mercenary who found himself in the employ of the Khorajan army, managed to survive this slaughter, this ambush. You can watch this in the last episodes. And yeah, so far he showed himself as quite handy with the blade, and we will see what else he can do.
Oh, he's definitely handy with the blade, that one. Definitely. Yeah. Scarily so. All right, so you ended up, and I'm going to just take you across to the map, and I hope I have configured this one right for you. Double check. Can you see something?
Yeah.
Good.
Very pretty.
You are at a very pretty city. You are at Khorajan, the behested as guests of Prince Satabus, who you've helped reclaim his life, essentially, and his bride. And you have been staying here for a little while. You've been doing your carousing and your learning here in this little city. But, of course, militarily, Khorajan is not in a good position after having lost most of its army in this ill-gotten venture. That was supposed to help another state, but they were betrayed by it. So, and essentially, you've got a couple of city kingdoms out in Shem now who know very well that Khorajan is depleted militarily. And so they are very nervous here, and they're very nervously looking at what all the neighbors are doing. And that one big neighbor across a steppe or a bit of a desert is Turan. And Turan, do you all know the map, or should I show you the map again?
Oh.
I'll briefly take you back to there.
Yeah.
Basically, you have Turan over here, which is a very fierce people, very expanding, and constantly pushing their borders and looking for new conquests and so on. The Turani or Turanians, however you want to call them. And they have been stretching their borders further and further westward. But you have the eastern desert here, the Red Waste, and that is basically a natural barrier, which makes it really, really hard for them to get across. So they've been trying to stick to the mountains a bit more in their expansions. And this is the borderland between Khorajan and Turan. And they're basically worried because they've heard spies from, or the scouts, if you like, of Khorajan have seen and heard of lots of troops gathering around their own eastern border, Turanian troops, who seem to be fighting some rebels. They're called, I keep forgetting them. What are they called? Anybody know? Zuigar. Yeah? They're basically the mountain people who are living there, and they're saying, we don't want to be conquered by the Turanians. I've just put it in the chat for you. And basically, it looks like they've been fighting a guerrilla war against the Turanians. And now the Turanians are bringing lots of troops up. And that is very nerve-wracking for Khorajan, of course. Because they're so depleted. But a messenger arrives. And we're going to just do this very much improvised, artsy. Yeah? A messenger arrives at the court from Turan carrying a message. Now, the message basically is an invitation. The invitation is from the King Yesgidir of Turan to say, we are operating in your border region here, and we would like you to send a scouting party. So in case we stray across somewhere, you know that there is no bad intent, and you may help us, because sometimes these rebels we are fighting are withdrawing beyond the borders of Khorajan. We don't want any border incident. That's essentially the message.
What was the name of that king again?
Yesgidir.
You mind putting that one in the chat?
I hope I remember how to spell it, because I haven't got my notes open.
Yeah.
Yesgidir.
I have my notes, I just have to open them up.
Here.
And for those watching at home, if this sounds somehow familiar, this is all based on an adventure from, what were they called? Mongoose Publishing, in the year 2004. Well, basically the previous version, E20-based version of Conan, and I just decided to grab the story and run with it. Coming of Hanuman. I hope nobody's played that yet.
Not me.
No.
Good. I see some shakes. That's good. And if there's a gap down there in our layout, Septimus is not with us, as I mentioned before. So that's meant to be. Okay, so you are all being called in to the prince's chamber, not the king, but the prince's chamber, Prince Satabus, as his personal guest. And as you come in, you see a young lady standing next to you. It's not one of his twin brides. But instead he says, there you are. Good, I might have an important mission for you. This young lady, what was your name again?
Shira.
She brought us an important missive from King Yesgidir. And I think you would be perfect as a scouting party to go out there. Shira can explain. Pop you in it.
Our purpose is to avoid further conflict, and it should be fairly basic. You have questions?
What would be the goal of that scouting mission? As in, what are we scouting?
And I would say what Frank would say.
Oh, okay. Basically, you're the ambassadors, you're the observers, whatever you like. You're going to assist the general, the Turanian general, who's called...
We're scouting for rebels, right?
Sorry?
We're scouting for rebels?
You're scouting for rebels,
Possible
that's right. And the chap you are helping is called, he's known as the Hawk of Agrapur, but his actual name is Mahat Aga. Which I put in the chat for you, because I know you. I like it when people write notes. So Mahat Aga. He is leading the force that is supposed to find and defeat those rebels, and you are basically there to assist him.
How can we trust this individual? After all, we do know that the prince was betrayed by the kings of Shem. Could this not be something similar?
Well, this time they're not asking us to send a lot of our forces, to commit a lot of our forces. Instead, they're asking for a small scouting party. There's little to gain if they were trying to double-cross us.
Also, what I'm thinking, the Turanians, they want to extend the borders, and now they're asking us to help them scout their enemies, which are indirectly helping the Khorajans. Isn't this the case?
They're not really helping, because the Turanians have never attacked us. I'm trying to speak as Satabus. They've never attacked us, and this might actually be the makings of a great alliance that we are in desperate need of. We could really
alliances worked so well in the past.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, the Shemites, you can't trust the Shemites. But I'm pretty sure we can trust these guys. And if not, you can bring back the message that we cannot. It's an important message, important mission I'm sending you.
And it does look as if Khorajan is in need of assistance. So this is in everyone's best interest.
Yeah? What's in it for us directly, though? What do we gain from it? Putting our lives at risk. Obviously we want to help you, Prince. But what reward is in it for us?
Yeah, I'm sure the Turanians will compensate us very well for our help.
As will I. If you complete this mission, I will definitely reward you like I did last time.
Oh, that was a handsome reward.
It was.
In this case,
maybe not quite as handsome as that. I think I might actually have given you the name, misspelled the name of the king slightly wrongly. I think it's Yezdigad rather than Yezgedir. Forgive that slight. But yeah, it is travel. You will have to travel for a few days to get to the border region there, but I know that you are a good unit, good fighting unit, and that you're very good at scouting. I was there to witness this as you led us back to Khorajan.
But as for me, I spent all my money, I did all my shopping, I am ready for the next adventure. How about you all?
Yeah, we've rested enough here, haven't we? You know, living a life of luxury. I think it's time to get out again.
Yeah.
And the king's messenger will, of course, guide us. Will guide you as well.
Oh, indeed. And just to be clear, I have no allegiance necessarily to Turan. I am here at Satabus's command, and I am here to assist him. Most likely for the same reasons as you all are. He's very generous.
Yes, indeed.
So, I'm glad to hear that you are taking the mission. Of course, you will have some riding beasts if you don't have your own yet.
I don't think we do.
No, I don't think we do, no. Or if we did have, we lost them in the battle.
You can borrow some.
I have a horse.
Yeah.
I think
you can.
Horses all round.
Essentially, you can borrow a horse. We're not talking about war elephants here.
I have a riding course.
Good. So you are then going to fast forward a little bit, travel, but if there's anything last minute shops, equipment, gear you need, otherwise we'll take it into the mountain. It was the Kezankian mountain.
Kezankian.
No.
I can't think of anything like at this point in time. Let's make sure we have enough provisions, because we were a little bit light on them last time.
Mm-hmm. For the purposes of today's story, I'm not going to track your provisions very, very closely.
And just so that everyone knows, I'm dressed. I'm sort of dressed, or at least recognizable as a priest of Erlik, which is the Turanian national one of the two gods. So,
what can you guys
come in handy?
Erlik? We've got a law specialist.
Yeah.
Not here with us today.
Erlik essentially, just to make it quick, is interested in the here and now and the immediate. Does not suffer fools, does not like idle hands, prefers adventure, expansion, and there really isn't an emphasis at all on the afterlife. You focus on what you can get while you can get it.
Like Crom.
More
fighting.
now.
Look after yourself.
More destruction.
Good. So you have a priest with you. There you go.
Mm.
Nothing could possibly go wrong now. Right. So
I'm
you
cursed.
set out. And as I said, I'm going to just jump a little bit to our desert travel. Seen before. Just as a mood picture in the background. And yeah, you're basically seeking the forces, first of all, of this Turanian general. So there's a little bit of reading here. Let's see whether I stick to it, whether I'm going to paraphrase. Yeah, how lazy I am. So, for days now, you have traveled through the harsh deserts and steppes of the Turanian Shemite border. Nobody ever said that serving as scouts for the Turanian army or the Khorajan army was being a nice ride, nor did you have any illusions about finding the hidden Zuigar Rebels quickly, much less in their own territory. However, it has indeed been a difficult journey. Turan may hold the rule here. You've just crossed the border, you think, but it does not hold the people's loyalty, you know that much. Then again, that is precisely why you're here. So, you come over a hill and you see in front of you a camp around an oasis where you think the Turanian army is. And actually, this is quite a large army if you're thinking that they're just going to put down some rebels. There are several hundred men here. So they're definitely committing something. Probably not enough to actually attack and conquer Khorajan, but more than you would anticipate for dealing with a few rebels.
I suppose we should see this Mahath Agar and speak to him.
Mahath Agar. Can I ask you, those who are very good at it, to do an observation? Surveying the scene in front of you. Oh, very nice. Artsy has already changed his background. Success. First couple of rolls here. Oh, look at that.
I know.
120. No, that's as a very first roll at our table. And 120. Well done.
Get them out now.
Good. Anybody else?
Complication is dead.
Yeah. I'm not good at observation.
Good stuff already. You peer down there. You see, that's good enough. You see that there are a couple of dunes on from where you actually standing. There's another small group of riders, 5 or 6 of them, and Zera, you spot them very quickly, but you're pretty sure that they are again Turanians. Whereas Krios looks at them and thinks, they don't seem to have the same style of clothing or armor. And they seem to be actually in a very similar position to you. They are peering down at this camp as if they are trying to sort out, count tens and count how many fireplaces there are. So, you can pick it up from there.
Can we tell if they have spotted us yet?
Or you can have a look.
I would rather somebody else have a look.
Yeah, you had momentum. I can, if you want to, you can spend that extra momentum to ask me.
We just back off, back over the hill, because we're probably sitting quite proud, aren't we, on our horses?
Yeah, probably. So, do you want to spend that momentum to find out whether they've seen you?
If I would have just let some of the more observant people check that.
Yeah, I would have looked.
You've got the extra momentum. So,
yeah,
going to spend it then. And, yeah, I'm going to do a quick roll for them. And just find out whether they saw you. You don't think that they have seen you because you're sort of sideways from where they're actually paying attention. So you don't think they've seen you. They're probably about 150 meters away.
So they're sideways 150 meters. And what's the distance from to the camp? Like from us and from them?
300, you reckon?
Okay.
We're doing meters because we are mainly European. 3 to 2.
we use meters.
Yeah, indeed, Canada is sensible.
Only 1 year.
Well, shall we approach them with a bit of stealth? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe let's.
What?
How do you say it? Let's flank around, so we are coming up behind them.
So, are we thinking that these are actual rebels dressed as Turanians?
Krios, you have that suspicion. You have that suspicion. Whereas, yeah,
I mean, it would
Everyone
make sense
else.
because, like, if they were guards and watch, they wouldn't face the camp, but the opposite direction.
Yeah. And why would they be dressed slightly different? Maybe they've ransacked some bodies of some they've killed and just hastily put them on.
And how many are there?
5.
That's
Five.
Okay.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we skirt around and get behind them?
Do we want to do that as
I'm
a
gonna
group?
ask Krios what's happening because I don't think I observed anything. It's only Krios that suspects, right?
Yeah, those individuals over there, they just look a bit suspicious. You see them just over there, trying to stay hidden.
Okay.
Something not quite right about them, the way they're sort of acting, the way they're sort of patrolling around. Maybe they're rebels disguised as Turanians. We'll only know if we get a bit closer.
Yes, I agree. Let's go around.
How are you going to do this? Are you all together as a group, or are you spreading yourselves out, or is somebody scouting ahead and somebody else comes from the other side? Or
I'm good at scouting. I blend into the shadows, although I can't imagine there's too many shadows out here at the moment.
No, there are some rocks I saw.
I'm happy to take a lead on moving forward. But if I get in trouble...
Do you speak Turanian?
I don't.
No.
I may sneak with you, because if we need to converse with them, I may be able to suss them out with a language test.
Yeah, good idea. If you can speak their language. Do we know if these rebels are Turanian or are they Shemite?
They're sort of their own people. They would definitely not consider themselves Shemite, and they do not want to become Turanian. So they are the mountain people, if you like. They're the mountain tribes here.
Yeah, okay.
And they can be quite combative, you know that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the two of us can sneak ahead.
You're sneaking on foot, I assume. You're leaving your horses here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then maybe Mortis and I can take the horses, get in a better position, so if combat breaks out, we can dash in really quick on horses. Because I'm not very sneaky, and I think Mortis, you're neither.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Not yet.
then let's stay back for now, I'd suggest.
Okay, so our 2 sneakers, you're going ahead. Do you want me to? No. Would you like to do a sneaking roll then?
Okay.
I'm going to make them individual because I want to give you the chance to build up some momentum.
So I'm assuming we're both leveraging our Living Shadow skill.
Assume so.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know
remind
how
us
to
what
do that.
is.
So it says you adapt to using terrain effects to remain unnoticed by observers. When attempting to remain unseen or unnoticed, you gain bonus momentum equal to the number of ranks in Living Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about sneaking.
So I have 1 rank.
Yeah, I've got 2 ranks higher, so we'll get that extra momentum if we're successful. So we've still got to do it.
So do you think creating... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
What was that? Oh, that's...
No, go ahead. I was going to ask Durzo if he thinks it's a good idea to be a distraction and to help you guys stealth in.
Well, if the sneaking goes wrong, a distraction would be
No.
useful.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go then. So we both roll in stealth then, yeah?
Yeah. So Krios, why don't you go first?
Okay. We've got no momentum, have we? So I'll just do a basic roll, I think. Hopefully I'm good enough to...
Ooh, 1 success. 1 success. You got a 12.
All
Now
right.
I'm going to roll for them spotting you in a minute as well. But
Okay, so when I roll stealth, do I add anything to it because of the talent?
no, the talent, if you're successful, you get an extra result. You get an extra
Okay,
momentum.
I understand.
bonus momentum, yeah.
All right, here we go.
You can buy dice
Yeah.
for Doom.
You can give me Doom to buy an
Oh,
extra.
with Doom.
Not quite yet. I heard how high the Doom got last time.
That's fine.
I used it
That's,
well as well.
that's a good roll.
So you actually got 1 momentum for that. And because of your talent, you get an extra momentum. Is that right?
You do, yeah.
You got 2 momentums. I'm just going to put them on rather than banking them via the system. Just put them on manually. There's a counter at the bottom if you haven't spotted it yet.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. So you both are managing.
By the way, shouldn't the Doom counter be 12
yeah.
for players?
Should be, yeah, starting point, yeah.
He wants to
Just
give me
so.
free Doom.
Depends.
Okay, fine. If you want to give me free
It's not really giving too much.
Wow, that's like
if you're a-
4.
4 Doom extra, right?
I think it depends per fortune point. So
Yeah,
I don't know
actually, a
how
couple
many
of you only
fortune
have
points.
2 fortune points, so it should be probably
Oh,
2 more.
We
or
do?
less. Yeah, a couple of you.
I have
spend
only 2 fortune.
something. So, all right, you managed to get quite close, and you're behind them. You can see that from the brow of the hill, a little more from the dune hill, a little further down. You see that they have parked some horses there, but now you can definitely tell by the equipment and by the style of the saddle and so on that these are not Turanians. You think these must be the rebels, a small group of them. So you are quite close now. No shot, definitely possible.
We hear them. Can we hear what they're saying and what they're planning?
You can
That was my thought.
you can see that one of them seems to be taking notes.
Okay.
So that it looks like, to your war-trained eye, it looks like they're actually making a sketch of the campsite where they currently camp there, and taking down probably information about unit strength.
Okay.
while this all takes place, I'll keep my eye trained on the both of them, watching for any signs or any signs they might give us or any hints on what we should do.
Nothing yet.
Because of my 2 successes, could I possibly kind of move back enough so that the other 2 could see kind of a signal to show that, a hand signal to show that this is not right?
Yeah, what does that hand signal look like?
We should have talked about that.
Is that come towards
Yeah,
us?
thought about that. Yeah.
Yes,
a little like a little sideways across the neck. That simple,
yeah.
like, oh,
Come,
goodness.
or else us dead. Yeah.
Or face palm.
Okay.
So you want them to come closer, do you?
Yeah, I think so. Prius?
Yeah, I think that if we can persuade them to come closer, then the rebels will probably see them, and then we can attack them with surprise.
Yeah.
At which point the others will hopefully near enough not to have to waste too much time to join.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds a good idea.
Okay. You're hunkering down and you're waving to the others to close in a bit. Yeah, okay. Was
this more a symbol as in come closer but be thirsty, or come closer and haul ass?
What's that?
It was like,
I think since I'm not
that's
in
an
action right now,
interpretation.
Come closer or come closer.
Oh, okay, so come closer and haul ass. In this case, I guess we haul ass.
You haul ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So, you're getting on your horse and you're trotting over there, or you're really going for it?
I think we walk,
I think
right?
we're in
Or
full
people
gallop
trot over.
if they are like...
Okay. You're lumbering up a little bit. You're getting the speed up of the horse. And it's a bit tricky, actually. It's a little bit tricky, but yeah, if you were to fight on horseback, you probably would have to do a couple of rolls. But so far, you're good. But yeah, as soon as you hear the hoofbeats coming, basically, the spies in front of you are noticing this, and they're poking each other, and they're making very quick movements to get on their horses. And they're actually trying to turn away.
Can I kind of rush in within 3 of whatever that means, kind of within my whip range, and the one who was taking the notes, can I kind of whip that person and try to grapple them?
Right. Okay. Now, you are still a bit away, but if you want to do that, let's see. Let's just ask what Trius is going to do, and then we see how that gels, how that works together.
So I'm a skilled archer, so my aim would be to try to, whilst we've got range on our side, we take as many shots as we can. They'll probably come chasing towards us. Because if we try to sneak any closer, if we get caught, then
the impression you get is that these guys are not going to hang around and fight. They are trying to get away.
Yeah,
that's the impression you're getting. So if you want to aim for a particular person, this is the time to declare it.
Okay. Well, clearly the guy taking notes is quite important, so aim for him.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to do this narratively. We're not going to do a lot of dice rolling for it. We're not going to have a full initiative order and so on. But let's have a look at that shot that you're taking, first of all. And if you're managing to injure that guy with a note-taking, then Shira will definitely be able to catch him.
Okay, so I will use the Shemite bow because he's got better range.
Yeah.
I'm going to take an extra... I'm going to give you a doom to take an extra dice.
Thank you very much.
Just want to make sure that we deal with this guy. Oh yeah, sorry, we have 2 momentum. No,
we have 2 momentum. Yeah.
In that case, if I use the 2 momentum instead, I'm not going to give you dice.
Oh.
So I take
dice of doom.
2 momentum. There we go. Here we go.
You need to make prettier dice. That is pretty sweet. So you can, if you want to, you can do a call shot.
Well, I can get a second. I can get a second shot, can't I?
Get a
2 momentum.
Shot. Yeah.
So let me roll damage first, just to see
the
impact of the first.
If you're in a call shot, it depends if you want to maim him or you want to kill him outright.
Let me just re-roll one of the dice with my accuracy.
Oh dear. 8 damage, eh? That's a wound.
7, 8.
Nicely done.
Yeah, and it's piercing 1, so if he does wear any light bit of armor.
He does have a little bit of armor, but not enough to avoid taking a wound. Basically, you shoot him, and he does collapse to the ground, whereas the others are running away.
Okay, I'll use 2 momentum to shoot another one.
Okay.
The more we stop from fleeing, the better.
You do that. And Shira, you basically see your target, your quarrel, who you were aiming for, go down on the ground in front of you.
Is there a kind of leader-looking person that may not be that individual that I could kind of grapple off their horse?
There
Like
is
run
one
up?
who looks a bit more like a leader. Yes, you can try and do that if you with your whip.
Okay.
You've got a little bit more
Yep.
reach. You can, while they're hesitating, you can try and do that. So, second shot.
Okay, so this is just two. Do you want one momentum, do you, Shearer?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'll leave one there. I'll just roll 2 dice. I need 2 successes, though, because this is a second shot.
Oh,
3 successes.
Very nice.
So do the damage as well.
Oh, is that a D2, right? But I guess he's still.
It is for the second shot, yes. I needed 2 successes. Yeah, so
Oh, yeah.
I only get 1 momentum.
I see. You only get 1. Yeah. You can change it in the dice roller. You can change the difficulty.
Oh, yeah, of course I can. Sorry, apologies. I should have. And I can re-roll selected, kind of with my second shot.
Mm-hmm. So, in total, 7 damage. With piercing again.
Yes.
Right. So, a second person goes down.
Okay.
But it's not the same leader that that Zira is looking for.
Okay.
Find somebody. Appropriate person for that in my little groups of foes. You'll do.
Are all the enemies on horseback now? Or?
Yeah, they're all on horsebacks now. So this guy
Okay.
just got on horseback, and Shira is now trying to get him off horseback again.
yep. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty, I think, is at least yeah, let's call it a 2.
Okay. And I've got it. I'm going to use a momentum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
One extra
a dice. Is
There
that a
should be
dice
2
purchase?
momentum now, yeah.
Dice purchase with
Yeah, there's a dice.
Okay. And so I roll my dice. Sorry, it's the first time I've done
Yeah,
this.
it's
So
all right.
I'm going to roll my dice.
Okay.
You've got 2 successes.
Yeah.
3
Pretty
successes.
dice.
even.
Oh, there you
Very
go.
nice. Very nice. So
Okay.
you manage that. Now there, do the damage roll. See whether you've got the grappling effect.
Okay, so how do I do the damage roll?
Right.
On
go on the
you
whip
should have
itself.
On my
a
whip.
damage option.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes.
Got it? I was just going to
Yeah.
explain it.
And so how many? It says I have 3 to roll, 3 combat dice.
I will do that.
It'll do it by
automatically
itself.
on the damage. Like if you expand the weapon, there should be an attack button on it and the damage button. Click on the damage button, it should do it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just roll the dice.
Did you? Oh, there they come. That is pretty sweet. You have 2 effects,
As well.
which is the grappling effect, so you can actually hang on to him
Mhm.
on the horse.
Yep.
And 6 damage. So you actually drag this guy off his horse. He falls down. Takes 6 damage. Yeah, he's got it.
6 physical damage.
But he does take 1 wound for that.
Mm-hmm.
And now the others are riding away. Do the other 2 want to chase after those people?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, that when we see them engage, we will. I would have gone on basically on a course that tries to catch them.
Cut
Okay.
him off.
Now we haven't done any riding yet, and I haven't really read up on the mounted combat rules. But if that's what you want to do, let's work out how we can do this. So, looking at your skills, have you got? I think it's animal handling. Is it? There's no riding skill, right?
Would
Yeah,
make
animal
sense,
hands on
yeah.
comes to riding.
Sorry, there's riding. Did you say?
No,
think it's
that
animal
doesn't
handling.
compass.
Okay. So let's do an animal handling check to see whether you manage to get your horse into the right
Okay.
position, because this is now everybody's trying to go full pelt.
I will use momentum for that
there
one,
you go.
and it's average difficulty.
That's average, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then let's see.
Ooh, 1 success.
That actually worked out.
So
Barely.
you sort of managed to do that. They are not very great at this, to be honest. Let's see whether he gets away. You catch up with him, but you haven't got him off his horse or anything. So, do you want to attack them, or do you just want to ride by them?
No, I would. There are 2 guys remaining on horseback.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
2 of them were plucked down, 1 of them was whipped down.
If I'm close enough, can I attempt to basically jump over and tackle him off his horse?
You can try, but I think that definitely needs to be a bit harder, that one. So shall we do an acrobatics with a difficulty of 3, or is that too harsh? No, 3, because you're not a good
momentum.
It's going to be super cool.
With 3. Okay.
You can, of course, use your
I think I'll give you a fortune for that one.
That's what I was thinking about. Determination, I was going to call it, but that's the wrong game.
Let's see.
Nice.
Oh,
well.
Wow.
2, 3, 4 successes, easy.
You launch yourself at this guy from your horseback, and you fly through the air. Do you want to describe it yourself?
Riding in full gallop towards this guy. I'm quickly bracing myself up on my stirrups, launch over to this guy, tackle him on his neck in a, how do you call it? Schwitzkasten. A hold up and just tackle him to the ground.
Yeah.
Headlock, that's the one.
Microphone. This microphone is really annoying. So you managed to wrestle him to the ground. Now, looking at Moatas, do you want to do a stunt like that?
I was thinking more we leave this one alive and track it down where he might head off.
So there's one zooming off into the middle distance now. Yeah, you can look where he's going, but are you trying to follow him?
No, we'll just track. I'll have Kratos. There's no track where his horse, because he's on the horse, right? So his tracks will be there.
That's a good point. Yeah, I was tempted to shoot him, but you're right. Let's track him because he could lead us to the rest.
Especially now they're not trying to hide anything; they're just riding quickly. All right, with all the
we can warn the Turanian army as well.
You were also.
I mean, we have the chance of a prisoner, so
you have.
We don't have to let him escape, but it's your call.
You already have a prisoner because somebody just got wrestled to the ground.
Yeah, and Shiro
and the rest and the
has grabbed the one
because the leaders.
Leader's alive still.
I think the leader is down, isn't he?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't speak Turanian. I think that's the name.
That's all right.
But
Somebody speaks.
I don't think. I'm not even sure if they speak Turanian.
They probably can, but they also will speak Khorajan and Shamite. Yeah, potentially something else. The language you all have in common is Aquilonian. That's your lingua franca, I feel. So we have here, we've got Shira, and you have just wrestled this guard captain down. What are you going to do with him?
I'm right on top of him with a knife to his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I glare into his eyes, and speaking Turanian, I say to him, "Why are you here? What information are you gathering? Tell us now." And I'm using my steely glare and intimidate.
Steely glare, steely blade.
Okay. Wasn't one of them writing something? You mentioned, right?
Yeah, I think Krius took that one down.
Find his body and see if there's the notes. Yeah.
You've taken a couple.
I'm going to go check the notes.
Hmm.
I'll check the notes. If there's anything of note.
I mean, to be honest, he'll be very much intimidated, and although he doesn't actually say a lot right now, he will say something like, we are trying to combat you invaders. We will never surrender to you.
Who do you work for?
It's our land.
Who is your leader?
Find out how many there are as well.
Hang on. How many? So many questions at once. So many questions at once. The key thing is his leader is Bahimbal, the mighty Bahimbal. Let me type that out for you. What do you say? Speech bubble on the wrong person. And yeah, we are not afraid of you Turanian despots. Whatever happens to us, it shall be the will of Ishtar, over which you have no power. Looking at your priestly garbs.
Ishtar. Yeah. Okay. So, tell me more about this band of Ahim Baal. How many are there of you?
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah, plenty. Give me a number.
We're not as numerous as the Turanians.
Who is?
Good question.
Hit him one. He's not telling you the truth, is he? He'd have more details than that.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm gonna
he actually
maybe
said
the notes.
something which you are really surprised at. He says, he looks at your eyes and says, I will tell you the hiding place of our leader, for he wishes to talk to you. Do not think we do it out of fear for pain.
Why do you do it then?
The leader wants to speak to you.
Who's around me at the moment?
I think at this moment, I keep character name Krios will have caught up with you, and the others probably are slightly further away because they were riding. But you also hear some shouting from down the camp, and you hear some horses approach.
While this all is transpiring, I would find my prisoner, put him on the horse, and get back with the group.
Okay, so you're assembling.
Yeah.
And at that point, you get a couple of riders coming up to you, and I'm going to show you a little picture. Led by this guy here.
Is it the Hawk?
This is the Hawk of Agrapur. And they sort of surround you as you have wrestled on these prisoners. A couple of them have spears, which they lower the tip at towards you. And this imperious man with his big hawkish nose looks at you and says, "Oh, declare your business."
This man of Ishtar was spying
You caught us
for
some
others.
spies.
We have prisoners, yes.
We were sent by Prince Satabus to assist on the borders. We were given your name as someone to speak to.
Ah, you are the scouts. You're the Khorajans.
Indeed.
Well, it looks like you brought us a nice present as you came in here.
Caught these spying on you, yes.
Did you leave any alive? Because we need
One
to-
got away. Maybe
One
you sent
fled.
your spearman after him. He went that way, and I point in the direction.
The tracks.
And he speaks to a couple of his people and says, "Chase him, chase him."
But wait. We can follow them to their camp. Maybe we need to let them go. We hunt them down, then we won't find where their leaders are.
Well, we'll find out. And the guy...
You think the guy will head back to the camp, like well aware that we will follow him, and he's leaving tracks that are basically a huge sign saying, "Follow me"?
Yeah, Shira, the person you're sitting on, is already saying, I'll tell you where the camp is.
Yeah.
Without you threatening any violence.
Well, if we don't need him.
Okay, so before the Hawk arrived, did I have enough time to speak to Krios?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I tell him that he wants that the leader of this rebellious group wants to speak to us. And I guess I hear the galloping approaching. I say, "Do we want to reveal this to the leaders of the camp?"
Why would he want to speak to us? How would he know about us? Is this
Not
just...
us, just her. Am I in this talk, or am I?
You can come to it
away?
now. Yeah, we'll just
Okay.
retcon that a little bit.
I'm puzzled how they would know about us.
You can ask him.
I ask him, "How do you want us, or do you want an emissary of the camp.
Aren't you all the Turanians? Short, he doesn't seem to make a difference between you and the camp.
Okay.
But
Okay.
then these guys arrive and they surround you, and then they say, "Pick them up." A couple of his people get you prisoner. Come on down to the camp. We will interrogate this guy properly. You just get this impression from this general that he really does not want to argue.
Do we hand him over the notes?
Notes are just a map of the camp, aren't they? When we looked at them, is that what they held? Just a map of the camp?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, you can't quite read it. Yeah, it seems to be some sort of shorthand or whatever, but you would call it a scouting report.
Okay.
Eyes on intelligence. So, you go down to the camp with them. You get refreshed and so on. They drag off this prisoner to a particular tent, and he gets questioned there. Do you want to be there with him or not? For the question.
Are they speaking in? I assume they're speaking in Turanian, so it's probably only Shira that would know what they're saying.
Yeah, the others, you're basically being welcome, made welcome to the camp. You point at some places and say, "Oh, you can stay over there. There's a place in that tent, space." But yeah, Shira, you go in and you hear them talking. You're not quite sure what your role is. How do you want to play this? Do you want to be part of the questioning, or do you just want to listen?
I will say to the hawk that I am representing Satabus in the assistance, and so I believe that it's important for me as a liaison to know the details of this.
Okay. To summarize this a little bit and to make sure that you get the right information without lots of me talking to myself. Basically, what comes across is that this guy is very proud, the Zuigar commander. Yeah, he doesn't basically says, "Look, you might be stronger than us, but we are the more ferocious fighters. But we are not afraid of you anymore. This is our home. We know it better than you. But even that, there are some stronger forces that are threatening them than the Turanians right now, or the Shemites, or anybody else. There are some stronger forces, and they do not fear the Turanians instead. And there is a power of evil spirits. The Zuigirs are besieged by mysterious demons from the desert. They are lost anyway. As will you," he says to the hawk, "if you come to our lands now." There's a big back and forth, of course, at that, and then you just sort of, with a bit of spite, says to the Turanian captain there, "Men who think themselves immortal are always the first to die." Then he repeats this. He says, "Willing to tell you where our base is, for our leaders want to talk to you." He gets beaten up a bit for being cheeky to the hawk. Anything you want to ask still?
I turn to the hawk and say, would it be in both of our best interests for myself and the rest of this group for us to go and speak to their leader and find out if there's any merit to what he has to say?
It might very well be. Let's discuss that a bit later. Yes. And sends you back to your group with that status.
And I fill everybody in.
Yeah, I wonder whether the arrogance of this Turanian leader is he'll just think there's no threat. We need to head off ourselves and investigate. So maybe we just need to tell him that we're going to just go patrolling. After that's why we're here.
Picture of the leader.
Yeah, he looks a bit arrogant.
Courtesy of Mid-Journey.
Cary Grant with long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chin is a bit different.
His ears look pointed.
And a bigger nose.
Mm. Yeah. I wonder whether we should just sort of, take our lead and go patrolling and see if we can speak to these rebels.
Did we get permission? Did I get permission to go with this with us?
Well, he did say we'll discuss this later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can just decide, oh no, let's not wait for this guy. He's far too arrogant anyway. We'll just ride off. You could antagonize him, or you could wait a little bit and have a discussion over a nice bit of mint tea.
I like me mint tea.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not sure we need his permission for anything
No, I don't think we do
in
we?
the first place, but antagonizing him doesn't seem the smartest play here.
But we could say to him, we're going to go patrolling, so we're keeping on his good side, and
yeah, of course, but we are not in a hurry, are we?
No.
We're not in a particular hurry. No.
So maybe just let's wait for him, have a little talk about strategy, and then we can head off and meet with the rebels.
Okay. So you're basically being asked to join his tent and motion to sit before him while his slaves bring and serve dinner for all of you. Yes, Iranians do hold slaves.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can now have a chat with him. But yeah, he looks at you first of all. Looks like the Satabus, you said, has sent us some capable scouts. Well done again for finding and capturing that scouting party. This desert rabble has revealed the location of the hideout. It's no more than a day's march from here. But of course, I'm slightly suspicious that this might be some sort of ambush for us.
You happy for us to maybe scout this group out first? And we pull back?
Sure. Said you. Sure. And he picks up a bit of parchment from his round sort of copper plate table and passes it over to you. Here's a map. Our scouts drew. Based on the information these sand dogs gave us. You can follow it and maybe some of the trails because they seem to go in the same direction of the person who rode off. But just be sure, I'm not sending on a suicide mission, understood? Now, if you find any danger, I want you to double back immediately and report it to me. We will be marching only a few hours behind you, but having some advanced intelligence will be crucial.
It would be our pleasure.
Of course, we ride at dawn.
You're right at dawn. Very good, very good. And then he looks at you. All.
Maybe some refreshments then for the evening. Please tell us, what are Turanian refreshments like?
Yeah, please tell us.
Wait, they are speaking Turanian, right?
Turn this around to my players. What are they like?
They're dates, figs,
Baklava?
baklava, of course.
Sweet things.
Pistachio encrusted pastries with honey.
But if you
Classic war camp food.
that he was dining with you, that is definitely not the case. He's dining in front of you, and then he sends you to get your own dinner somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's an ass.
Yeah, we're not being treated.
He's nobility. He's a big general. You're not.
We're low life, aren't we?
Compared to him.
Steal this food.
All right. So that takes us to that next day. You will have a decent night's sleep. So if nobody was injured, were they? So you're all good with that. And we're going to...
I'm gonna say, we spent how much time in the camp?
In the camp, probably arrived there early evening, overnight until the next morning at about 6. So,
Like a few. Okay.
roughly, 12, 13, 14 hours.
I'll
Are you trying
say
to do
that
anything
time.
clever, like going...
Nah, I'm just in that time, just like pick up the Turanian language with the fortune point. Just
You
like
just pick it up.
pick it up.
Okay. So the linguistic tablet
yeah,
you've got.
Yeah, it is.
Once you have 3 languages, it's all easy. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah,
I need one more.
my character has like at least a lot.
You have a lot of languages. Amazingly polyglot.
Awesome.
So the next day you set out. And seeing whether we can keep this to one session. We're going to play this out a lot. But have we got... There's polyglot. Yeah, very good. Have you got somebody you can do me a nice survival roll to guide us through the desert?
I am happy to do that. It's one of my specialities.
Don't draw the complications.
Oh, no, I say that.
Oh, the 20 was looking likely for a moment there. Oh, you're both very good at this. You can write down some momentum if you like. Gather up some momentum.
Liking that one, yeah.
So, we are back in the desert. Riding through the desert. And, I just lost my notes. Here they are. So the one-day trip to the rebel base, as it says here, will pass uneventfully. That's fine. But you're basically traveling most of a day. So it's already getting darker again as you come towards the spot indicated on this map. There was a handout for this, but it's a map that I could have drawn better myself, so I decided not to. You see at the distance, in the distance, sort of another, what do you call it? Chain of mountains? Peaks? Mm-hmm. And in front of it, there's a wider valley, and there's some ruins there. But you can just about see tips lit up by the setting sun. And you think that must be where this base is. I can actually read it out if you like. Yeah, let me read it out. I don't have to stumble over my own words all the time. It is many hours since you separated from the main Turanian company, but you finally see the near cliffs and rocky foothills of the Kezankian mountains, the landmark at the end of your journey. You found no trap so far and faced no ambush during the trip, although an eerie feeling of disquiet has been growing you as you come closer to this. Continue nearer to the place indicated on your map. You make out the outline of some apparently ruined stone buildings in the distance, almost hidden on the base of a short cliff wall. These stones must mark the site of the rebel camp, as indicated by the map that Maha gave you. So,
I'm gonna ask Krios if he sees anything around. Maybe watch, like,
have a good scout around.
Scout around.
Yeah. Especially as there are rebels here, we don't want them suddenly surprising us. So,
good point.
Do an observation check?
Yeah, do an observation check. Yeah, that's 2 successes. That's decent. I'm not going to give you momentum based on that. Yeah, you sneak forward a bit. Is anybody with you, or are you doing this by yourself?
Yeah, I think Shira should come with me because she seems to be quite good at being stealthy and she knows the language, which is quite important.
Okay.
Hey, you crawl forward a bit along the craggy cliff walls and so on, and you peer down into there. There's no sign of anything like a fire, or anything like that. You're actually a bit puzzled by that. You see some shapes moving around, but you can't really get a good glimpse of them, because you're not close enough. But just as you're sort of silently agreeing, yes, go back and tell the other. You hear a scream coming from the room. A shrill shriek of pain, of fear coming from the ruins towards you. And then you see some shapes running from within, from between the wall fragments that are left. There's a shape running up the dune towards you, up the hills towards you. Shape of a woman, as far as you can tell, and some burly shapes running behind her. And with the momentum you get, or with the successes you had, you think that this is not necessarily in human shape. The gait, the way they run, seems to be different, more animal-like.
Okay.
Like ape-like.
We need to Are we within line of sight of the two behind us that we could wave them forward?
No. You have to decide between the two of you what you want to do.
What do you want to do?
Shoot. If I can start picking them off, it may slow them down to allow the woman to get to us.
The pursuers are definitely gaining on her.
Yeah. Shoot straight away. Don't let them. We haven't got time to debate. If you want to run back to get the others or stay here,
Do you want me to run back or do you want me to stay?
run back
Can
and
we-
get the others. Yeah,
Can
run
we,
back.
if I shouted for them to come, are they within earshot?
Yeah, that's
Probably. If you really shouted, they probably would hear you.
Yeah, I'm going to shout and say, something like emergency or
Oh, if you just shout, like, most likely will come.
Like,
Yeah.
"Oi, you,
Happens in the show.
come here now."
yeah,
Something like that. Oh, just
Or from the super.
or help.
we need. Have I got a picture for her? I've got a picture for her, but not a token. +1. Who I'm going to use. I've got a token from last time, don't I?
Okay. I'm going to try and shoot one of these with my Shemite bow.
So ignore the name on her, but that's your running away woman. So you're lining up this big birdie shape, running after her.
The one closest to her, because if I can drop one, then it may cause the others to stumble over its body.
Okay.
So if we've got 5 momentum,
Oh yeah, you're not going to blow it all in one go.
no. But I will use.
I don't think you can.
Basically, I normally generate more momentum anyway, so I'm going to use 2 momentum in my attack to have 4 dice.
Mm-hmm.
I assume difficulty is still normal because I've got a shoot for the horizon, which allows me to negate 1 penalty.
Yeah, that's fine.
Range. Yeah.
You can shoot beyond the normal range. Wow, 5 successes. 4 momentum. All right. The one that's nearest, you said.
Yes. So let me roll for damage first. Let's see what we can do. Oh, that's not good. Can you reroll one of the dice?
That's not so much. Stays
Oh.
at 5. But you're
Stays at-
piercing
You
effect.
can use momentum to reroll as many dice as you want.
That's true.
Yeah, I think I probably will. I might as well. What else can I do? They don't wear armor, I assume. So yeah, I think a reroll for 1 momentum and maybe even a second attack. Can I only reroll once per roll? How do I reroll?
You have to manually re-roll the other.
I don't think you can. Yeah.
I've just got to roll 3 dice.
86.
I thought that someone else has managed to re-roll them before.
No, I don't think we
No,
have.
just after the once.
I think it's actually CD for combat dice. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look up there.
Yeah.
3d6. Okay, so that's an
2
extra
effects.
No, I did
2 effects and a 2 damage.
Ignore the coins. Yeah, good. That's
So
2
that's
damage,
it.
3 damage.
5, 6,
4
7,
damage,
8,
4
9,
damage.
9 damage, 4 effects.
Pretty good. And one of the effects is piercing, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So, yes, you fell one of them. The 8-man copy. It shouldn't say
I'll-
that.
I'll use 2 momentum and have another shot then at the next nearest one.
All right.
And
It's going to be harder this time.
Yeah, that will be D2, won't it? And I'll use 2 further momentum.
Oh, yeah, look, these guys actually. With you two combating here, there's hardly anything that can stand in your way. So another 4 successes. Look at that. Shira doesn't actually get a look in, does she? It's like, okay,
It's
I'll
just
stand here.
slow clap in the background.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not such,
very
not
poor
such a good
damage.
roll. But let me just re-roll with the 1 selected first. Okay.
You should reroll.
Then you can do 3 more if you like.
Yeah, why not?
I think you have to reroll all at the same time if you want to.
That's
Oh,
1,
okay.
2, 3,
That's good.
4, 5 more
8.
damage.
Yeah. So that's 11 damage with the second one.
So actually, both
The
of
job
them
is
go
done.
down. Both of them go down. Very good shots. And Shira, you are running towards her, are you?
Oh, yes.
You're running
Yeah.
towards
You've got
her after shot.
Loads of momentum available to you as well.
And stumbling towards you, you see a lady. Let me just see. I have to check in before I click on the picture. Who looks like this. So, a woman lies on the sandy ground, desperately scrambling to get up and run as a stunning angelic countenance distorts in the mask of sheer panic. She looks at you really panicked. Most striking feature of this girl is her golden eyes, which glitter as the sun of the Shemite sands and have almost the same color as a desert tan skin. Few steps behind the where they're collapsed now. It's the hulking humanoids. They're basically like enormous apes, but they're wearing clothes, interestingly enough, and they were brandishing a knife, a wicked curved blade, but both of them are now collapsed. One of them is still breathing, the other one is not. But this girl is basically looking at you very, very panicky and sort of scrambling away from you now. Here, what do you do?
I grab her with both my hands on her arms, and I look at her and I say, "It's okay now. Who is chasing you? Who are these people? We can help you."
And
so I'm trying to calm her down.
In what language?
Because of her look, I speak Aquilonian to her.
So which one do you want to try?
She looks more local, doesn't she?
What language I want to try?
You're pretty sure that, yeah. You're pretty sure this is one of the rebel ladies.
Okay, so I'll speak Turanian.
Okay, she's fearful of you, but then she said in slightly broken language, this beast, I'm Namila. Please, I don't know who you are, but you must help me. And she points back at the ruins behind her and says, my people, they're still trapped by these things, and many Shemites are as well. And she very nervously looks over her shoulder. Now, Mortaz and Duruz, Duzu, you're now also approaching.
Okay. And I'm asking, well, I see the dead bodies on the floor, and I'm asking what happened. What is this? Like, I don't know. What is that, since it's not human-like?
Yeah,
I ask Rio since I see his arrows.
Yeah, they're strange ape creatures. They were chasing this woman. I don't know what she's saying, but she'll know. It looks like they were, after her, but managed to take them down.
We need to help her people, but Mortaz, can you look at the knives that these beasts were holding? What are they? Do you know their culture?
Yeah, I can look at them. Yeah. What do we want to roll? Melee?
You just need to look at them. Don't worry about it. Okay. They are. I put that in my notes somewhere, but they're actually
scimitars or something like that.
Yeah, sort of, but they are actually. They've got a particular name. Zaibar knives.
Oh.
And Conan, they're called Zaibar, Zaibar. And they are not atypical for this area. Yeah, you might actually.
Anything etched into them?
Say again?
Anything etched into them, like maybe.
What you really find strange, these are basically apes. These are big apes, and
they're wearing clothes.
They're wearing clothes, and the only might make me law roll. Because there seems to be something stenciled into the blade. What did I say that? Oh, 3, so of course you must be good at law. Target number 17. That's quite high. You look at them and see there's a stylized ape face with big fangs stenciled into it, and you recognize them as the symbol of the god Hanuman.
Well, I ask the priestess if Shira knows anything about Hanuman.
Hanuman is actually a god who is worshipped in a city not too far away, in Zambula. And he's an ape god. No, didn't work. Wrong copy and paste. Ignore. In Zambula. Have you heard of Zambula? Those who know a bit of Conan?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Zambula.
I'm not familiar with it.
But Zambula it's like a normal human city.
It is.
Okay.
Not quite normal, but I put a little bit of the lore text into the chat here. So one civilized animal cult is that of Hanuman, the ape god worshipped in Zambula. Hanuman's priests are feared rather than loved, or the worship of the ape god is still supreme in Zambula, much to the chagrin of the rival priests of Set and Erlik.
Didn't Conan go into the city of Zambula? It's like a deserted city, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you've been there before, but otherwise I would have a bit more information here. But it's a dark ape god, and there are rumors about like a cannibalistic rites.
But the existence of those ape man, is this something known? Do people know there are ape people running around?
For that brilliant lore role, Mortas definitely knows the stories about it. He knows tales of it, but they are not normally wearing clothes and they're not normally wearing weapons.
Okay.
They're wild mountain apes, basically. This is new. This is different.
Is this, I ask Moraz if this is some type of transformation. Like, could these have been people?
We weren't not too sure. Maybe we should check out the city, see if her people have been transformed.
I think we need to help her people quickly.
Yeah.
There's more of these around.
I can tell you, when you speak to her out of sight, like if you take her out of sight into your camp, essentially, where you left your horses, I can tell you a bit more what she tells you. I think that might be helpful. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. So, she is definitely shaken. You can tell that she has not had enough to drink or eat for a while. Yeah, so you probably share some rations and eagerly eats them. But she's very nervous the whole time she looks over that hillock behind which the ruins are. Those cursed ruins are not my tribe's haven, she says. Like a prison. You have to help us, these beasts. You have to follow that monster's track and save my people. They are not human, what you clearly have seen. I don't know what they are, but they are beasts. Spirits of the underworld came to torment us.
Did your people wake them up in some way?
No, they've been raiding our villages. And in one of such raids, they took me captive, and then they brought me here, and I found that there were many others held captive here, mainly women and children.
But we are at the location the map identifies as the rebel camp.
Yes. But she says this is not the rebel camp. I don't know how many of them there are. They're like a tribe of beasts, but they have a master. There's one who's smarter and wiser than the others, but also much more evil and cruel. I don't want to talk about him. No, really don't.
How many are there of those ape creatures?
Many of them are currently away with their leader. There's about 10.
And how many of you are there? How many of your people are trapped?
Be 30 of us.
And they're mainly women and children?
Yes.
Do you have anyone defending? We have to go, everyone. We have to save her people.
But if we save your people, you have to tell your other warriors not to continue raiding these lands.
I don't have any power over them. We're just defending our land here.
I'm also fairly certain that we are the people raiding the lands. That's on another page.
But you're right. Time is of the essence. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes. This is obviously what Bahim Bal was speaking of. This is the threat.
The greater power.
The greater power, yes.
Have we met Bahim Bal yet? I think he was the
No.
leader of the rebel.
He's the
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the leader. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We were supposed
Captain
to
was
go meet
nameless.
him.
Didn't
Yeah.
give the captain a name.
Yeah, okay.
Jump.
Well, of course. Yeah, then let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. You want to go straight into
So-
this temple?
I'm gonna craft some potions. I'll just craft like some petty enchantments.
Right, now this is going to take a little time, though, yeah? Are you taking the time to say, I'm going to craft some petty enchantments? And what are they going to be?
They're gonna be burning liquids.
Burning
So,
liquids.
yeah, in that section, hellish brimstone. And I'm gonna set up camp for a little while and tell everyone I'm just gonna make something before we go. Since it seems we're gonna go into a fight, right?
Right.
Say,
Now, if you want to spend a little bit of time, that's fine. If you want to immediately go, then I would say you don't have time to prepare these. Up to you guys.
oh, yeah, it's a group.
How much time are we talking about?
3 hours, you reckon?
Should have taken it.
No, I think we
Hours?
need to go.
Oh,
I think we need to
okay.
go.
Don't have that much time, do
okay,
we?
here we go.
I'm also thinking if you arrived early evening in 3 hours, it could be night. So
Yeah.
going then would be difficult.
Yeah, we won't be able to
Yeah.
see, will we? These beasts can probably see in the dark.
Yes.
We must go now, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think...
What is the... Sorry?
Go on. What do you do?
I was just about to ask, what is the temple situation like? You said they were held in a temple. Is this like a figure-out like last time, or...?
Not quite. It's a building with columns around it. Some of them collapse, and a more central, a more solid core, but it's not a ziggurat this time.
The more like Greek-style temples?
Yeah, a bit more like that.
Yeah.
A bit like what you see behind me in my Zoom background.
Okay.
Or maybe behind you. That also looks cool. This from Conan?
Yeah, that's the Tower of Bad, I think, from Conan Exiles.
Looks
Oh, wow.
I haven't really played Conan Exiles much. Conan, what's the other one? Unchained.
Age of Conan?
Age of Conan. Yeah,
yeah.
that's it. I played that for a bit when it first came out. Yeah, shaman. So, you're not taking a lot of time then. You're making your way down. You're leaving
I
your
would say
riding
so, yeah.
animals, your mounts here.
Yeah, I
Anywhere
think
we
should
can
go on
find them,
foot.
we could quickly tether them safely to stop them.
Yeah.
You can. This is a sort of rocky desert, like the one you can see in the background picture. So, right. Under the cover of the falling night, then you get closer. What do you do with her? Do you ask her to wait with the horses, or do you ask her to come along?
I think she needs to come along. We may need her to speak to her villagers, if there's any alive.
Would make sense, yeah. If she's coming along.
I
If
will try to convince her that we will keep her safe.
You want to roll for that? Anything, or do you just say it?
Um.
I feel like we haven't rolled all the dice yet.
Persuasion.
Okay, so I'll roll persuasion and
Persuasion or counsel would work as well.
counsel
Persuade
is
better for you.
yeah. I'll use yeah. I want to do counsel, but persuade is better. So I don't want to min max. So I'm going to do counsel.
Okay, fair enough. I can honor that.
Wish me luck.
Luck.
But loads of momentum if you need it.
How much momentum do we have? 4.
4.
Oops.
So
Okay, so I'm
take
going to
what you
use.
need.
I'm going to use 1.
Mhm.
All right.
Remember momentum, and you roll some nice looking dice, and yeah, 2
Okay,
successes,
perfect.
get 1 momentum back. She nods. Says, yeah, I think I can trust you. So you start investigating the room. She's coming with you. And do you give her any weapon? Otherwise, when you come across those apes, she's going to take one of those vicious looking knives.
Yeah, give her one of the vicious looking knives.
And she sort of feels the weight of it and gets to grips with it, and you can tell that she's a practiced fighter as well. She's not just a damsel in distress.
Very good.
She gestures to you and points out a few things. But then there's a high wall piece we can sneak in there.
There are 2 knives, right?
Yeah.
So we should bring another one just in case we can arm somebody else that isn't already armed.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have the knives with you. As you get closer to this place, you just feel this eerie sense of something is not right here. This sense of tingly otherworldliness grow as you get closer to these ruins.
Is it a sense of sorcery?
Could be sorcery, it could be something else. Foreboding evil, basically. So you slowly enter the stone ruins, and you don't feel like they're very easy to scan or guard, so actually it's quite easy to get into them. There are no tents that you see, no hearths, no banners. This is not a camp, not even an inhabited settlement. Utter silence in them. Although there undoubtedly is a presence here. Something is watching you, maybe probing you. And after a few instants, you realize who it is. The city is full of crude, debased depictions of the ape god Hanuman. There are reliefs, small statuettes, large white stone idols. Hanuman is all the way around you, looking upon your intrusion with the aloof disapproval of the carved deity. These ruins must have belonged to some ancient cult, probably established by the Vendian ancestors of some such people. However, your concern is not with its former inhabitants, but whoever is currently occupying. Got another picture for you if you like. Like that one?
It's a bit AI.
Midjourney, you can tell by the toes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a journey. I just thought that overall, I just thought this was really cool. I thought
it is cool.
Don't count the toes. Somebody came around with a chisel and destroyed the toes.
I turn to this woman
Namila.
and Amila, and I point Namila, and I point to her and I say, "Are you leading us to our slaughter?"
I hope not. Leading you to my brethren and sisters.
Why would you be around this type of temple?
Because we were dragged here.
They were captured.
Lead on.
Lead on. You want to see whether you can do an insight check to see whether she's saying the truth, telling you the truth. That sort of seems
yeah,
like...
no, I think that I believe her now.
Okay. Good. Presently, you come before a large white stone building, which is in better shape than the others. The ape god's monstrous visage sneers at you from the 4 roof corners. The windows have all been walled up with rocks, but you could have sworn you saw a faint trace of movement. Suddenly, you hear a whisper, a Shemitic whisper. Yeah. And Namila's pointing. That's why they're being held captive.
Does it look like there's only one entrance?
There is an entrance, but it's bordered on there's a very rough made door and a big bolt across it from the outside.
From the outside?
From the outside. From your side. This is like a pen, like a prisoner's pen. Inside a big door.
They bolted in there.
Something's not right. They're going to ambush us, aren't they?
Yeah.
Keep scanning all around.
Do an observation.
360.
Do an observation as well.
Okay. I'm actually going to use one of the momentum as well.
Yeah, I haven't built it up enough.
Why did you do that for me?
There you go, momentum. As a bonus.
No, I did. I clicked the wrong thing.
Okay. You don't think that you're being ambushed, but you do hear some grunts and some steps coming towards you. And Namila seems to hear them as well. And she quickly over there. And points at a pile of rocks that have fallen off a building.
Okay. Jump over there to hide.
Yeah, who's the absolute worst at stealth here?
Like I have a 12. No expertise.
Oh, it's not bad. I've only got 13.
I think I have a worse. 8.
8. Do me a stealth roll then. With the expertise. Means you don't have to
Alright.
focus on it.
Increase my agility. I think.
What's the difficulty?
Just 1. I just want to see how you roll.
Just in
Ooh,
case.
Just in case. There's a
Complication. That's a complication.
It's a complication. Which I can buy off, but I've got so much room already. So, yeah, you hunker down behind this rock. And you see these apes basically walking and shuffling past you. And they're grunting to each other like they are talking essentially, but you have no idea what they're saying. But they seem to be patrolling. And just about, they've just passed when Mortas is just relaxing a little bit and knocks loose a couple of rocks which tumble down. And they look around. What's this? Do you hear that? Essentially, imagine that's what they're grunting to each other. Yeah, even though you don't actually understand them.
How many
did you
of
say there
them
was?
are there?
There's only 2 at this point, but they sort of sniff the air. Sniff it. Let me just do a quick roll here.
If they look like they're going to do something, I'm ready to shoot them.
Yeah.
Let me just roll some. Okay.
I'll
So-
also make ready to jump out of the rocks and attack one of them.
You hear them talk a bit, and you're tensing, and you're getting your weapons ready. But they then just grunt and shakes his head, and then they walk onwards. And Mila pokes you and
Okay.
says, "Come on, we must free my people."
I'll stay up in these rocks keeping guard in case something happens. Someone else or Khorajan want to open up the gate.
Oh, you're so distrustful.
Mhm.
All right, so you're keeping your position there. What about the others?
Yeah. Using my skills.
I'll sneak up to the gate,
Yeah. You hear again.
take a
whisper,
look.
Come on, closer. You must unlock the door. Let us out.
I'll go with Shira
Mm-hmm.
in this case. Just give her a bit of backup.
I'm
Are we
being
trying to
very.
just brute?
Oh, go on.
No, I was gonna ask how we plan to open this door's brute strength.
No,
I'm
it's,
going-
it's a normal door with a lock on the outside, like a bolt.
Look
We
on
can
the
just
outside, yeah.
I think
It
open
will
it.
not be that hard to open. There's no lockpicking required or anything like that.
So I'm gonna open the door slowly. And what do I see?
You see bundled together a good maybe 15 people.
Are
Men,
they
women.
bound?
No, they're not bound, but they live in quite a bit of squalor.
Okay, so I'm gonna put my finger to my mouth so that be quiet and kind of indicate to come forward. And
And they
just-
start picking them each other up and gathering a couple of rocks or whatever they can find, and they start making their way out. And as they emerge, they sort of look at you and they look at their Namila and nod at her, and you hear some words being exchanged like, "Thank you, we need to get away, but where do we go?" So they seem to be a bit confused what to do with the newfound freedom. They're in desperate
And the
need of some
thing-
direction.
Thing I keep thinking about is if there are, like, we know there are 10 apes in this area right now. And fighting them with those people around will be harder than without them. That's
Could get
something
messy.
to be considered.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If we just want to clear out this area and then get out with them, or if we try to sneak out with them. And risk that we get, ambushed or attacked and lose a lot of those
And you're
civil-
pretty
civilians.
sure that once these people start moving, they'll make a racket.
Yeah, I mean, there are like 15 of them.
Yeah.
By the way, didn't Namila say they were 30? So
This is not everybody yet. That's what you
we are
guess.
missing. Yeah.
There must be
Okay.
another place where they hold some others.
You're right. Do we hunt the apes down, clear this place out, then release and free the people?
the other issue is if they go back toward the hawk, he'll probably slaughter them.
Yeah, because they're not Turanian.
So you're having this discussion.
Uh,
Out in the open.
Briefly. Quietly.
as the people are pushing past the door and saying, well, thank you for freeing us, but where do we go now?
That way. Get out.
So you send them out. You don't say to them, get back in.
I
think
already
we
said-
should keep them covered and see.
Well,
if
you're
it's
behind me, so
safe.
you can. You're behind me. You can say stop.
So you're trying to shepherd them out of the area. I just need to know whether you're trying to move them or whether you're basically saying you stay put until
we need
deal with
a
any-
group decision here.
Yeah.
My
Lock in the
vote
box.
is on keeping them where they are, but they're safe there.
And I think
But then
we
again,
should
I don't
leave.
speak the language, so I can tell them anything. So there's that.
Decide as a group first what you want to do.
Okay, if I tell them to stay and be quiet, that we'll rescue them. Will they believe me?
Depends on your role, doesn't it?
All right. Well, then I'll try because behind me I'm hearing. I'm hearing Durzo say, they've got to stay so that we can clear. So I'm telling them to be quiet. I say come, and then I tell them stay.
Okay.
Is Namila with us too?
Amila,
So she can translate? Or
Yeah.
She can
can-
translate, but you have to convince her first that this is a good idea.
I'm gonna persuade her that this is a good idea.
On you go.
And I believe that I probably should use
Momentum.
Yes.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it?
yeah.
So she looks at you, a little startled first of all, but then you explain why, but you want to clear the way first. And then she starts very rapidly talking to the others. And they go back in, looking over their shoulder, looking a bit confused, but with her insistence, they actually go inside. He says, I'll stay outside this door. I'm going to hide here. I'm going to unlock it. If there's any danger coming, I'm going to let these people run.
Okay.
Is there a way to disable the locking bolt without
You
too
could
much
break
noise?
it. You could break it off if you want.
I think
Make
that
too
would
much
be-
noise.
But on the other hand, we could set an ambush here, basically attract them to us to fight on our terms instead of heading out into those ruins and, maybe getting ambushed ourselves. So.
Rios, you are holding your watch position, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Using my living shadow to be hidden.
Do me another observation. Difficulty 2.
Okay. We have 2 momentum, so I'm going to use one of them.
I think.
Mine still says 4.
There's 4 there. Yeah, I'll use 2 momentum. Why not?
Hasn't reduced.
There we go. Put some back in the pot.
And you put some back in the pot. Very good. You hear a bigger group coming of these monkey people. Ape people, sorry. Don't call them monkey.
Okay. If I can, I'll wave from the rocks and hope one of these 3 may be looking in my direction.
One of them 3 will be, and I think it will be Durzu.
Okay. Seeing him gesturing, I'll notify the other 2 and
Namila as well.
like from which direction are they coming? If we have like the front gate of the temple here, are
let
they
me
coming
try-
basically?
Let me try something now. I've created a little, you can get these, what do you call them? Geomorphic tiles that you could get with Conan. I just tried to use them in Foundry for the first time. I've done this before. Can you see something yet?
No,
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Figures need to go onto the board.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I need to do that first of all. I keep forgetting that's the default setting here. You should be able to see something now.
Yep.
Now, this is
Yeah.
not going to be precisely the scene, but I'm just going to use it as a battle map, essentially. So we're going to put the group on here. Oh, I thought that would work. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. Now I'm going to say that this thing here, actually this thing here is the entrance.
Okay, so
the entrance to the prison. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where am I positioned then?
So let me just get you, and you're positioned essentially off to the side a little bit. I'll put you over there.
Okay.
That's your watch position. The other Durzo was standing about here. Zero was talking to them. Moetas was sort of between you. So you can see the light gray lines. They are basically your zones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about these geomorphic tiles. They have the zones marked out. Neater. And you're hearing them come from over here. So basically from your east. There seems to be a group.
Those points?
Those points, I don't actually know what they're meant to be honest.
Okay.
But they're printed on the tiles.
Yeah. Before anything happened, I would like to try to get behind this ruin in sort of ambush mode.
Okay.
So as soon as the first one takes the corner, I'm just ready to whack.
Can we see them behind that?
You cannot
them coming.
see them yet, but Cryon is
hear them.
gesturing that he's coming, that there is something coming.
Hey.
Right. So I just created some here. Basically, there are about 6 or 7 of them coming. Now, Durzo, you want to sneak forward and try position yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Do me a stealth to see whether you can do that, or an acrobatics to see whether you're quick enough. No, let's do stealth. Will they see you?
I'll use momentum for that one.
I'm sure you do. Oh yeah, you get that one, don't you? Oh, only one success.
Barely. Yeah, I'm not good at stealthing.
Right. I'm gonna get one of these guys to do a census.
Their complication?
Oh, they've got a complication as well.
Yeah.
So they are on edge. They haven't seen you, but they heard something. So what are the others doing for positioning yourself?
Not a very good position.
I'm gonna...
I kind of want to get over here if I can, but that's quite a long way.
Oh yeah, that is a long way.
So maybe I'll just stay hidden behind that pillar there. Yeah. And
all right.
If it, you know.
And I can make it to that pillar, right?
Yeah, you can make that. It's just one zone. That's not a problem. Even your movement, your normal movement.
Yeah.
And Moetas, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna craft burning or hellish brimstone just on and I'll set up my camp. I'm gonna start crafting. Make a weapon.
I'm just saying you basically have the ingredients, you just have to mix it together. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And this brimstone thing is basically like a Molotov cocktail?
Pretty much, essentially, I would assume.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so they are now coming there. They're not going to be completely surprised. They're going to do normal initiative. Which is, do you remember how it works?
We go first and use Doom if you want to go first.
Indeed, so I'm going to actually use some Doom. But I have to do that for each actor who goes before you. So I'm going to go for one of these toughened guys. He climbs over this sort of ruined brick because he heard something, and he sees Durzo there. And he's going to act first. I'm going to take a Doom for that. And with a snarling big attack, he wields a knife and he wants to attack you, Durzo. So, what are we going to do about that?
So, I have this new shield. So, the question is, if I use the parry option, do I basically forfeit the shield quality of the new one? Or how does this precisely play out?
The
Right.
shield's got parry quality.
The
hasn't
shield
it?
has a parry quality on it. So the parry basically means that you can parry without having to use a reaction.
No.
Shield parry 1, is it? Or was it a parry 2 on it?
No, none of them. But you have the parry reaction. You
You can
can,
get a free parry by having a
Exactly.
shield.
but it also has the shield 4. Basically, reduce damage by
armor.
4 combat dice.
Yeah.
So my question was, is it pick one of the two?
No, I think both of them work.
But in
You
this
can parry,
case, I'll parry.
I think so. So you try to
Yeah.
parry. Good.
Yeah.
So he's going
Got
to
a hit
And
first,
with
right?
my deflection talent, I do not have to pay Doom for the first one.
I know, but I'm going
Yeah.
to spend some doom to have an extra die or two.
Yeah,
Make this a bit
of
more-
course.
I have got all this doom. I have to do
Yeah.
something with it, right? So
Get it.
3
Yeah.
successes.
Let's do some damage.
3 successes. You want to try and parry that?
I would like to, yes. Where is the parry skill? Here we go.
You found
I-
it. Good. Because I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you exactly where it was.
Your dice are secret at the moment, Frank.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Only 1 success. So that's a hit.
Let me just find my thing reveals. That was my roll. Now you can see it, right? So he gets through.
Yeah.
That means I can roll damage. This is the first time I'm trying to damage you, I think.
No, you did a couple of times.
Did I?
And do
Yeah.
you gain momentum, do you? Or effectively, you can use it in the same way as we can?
I can essentially use it up now, yeah. So I can use it for a bonus damage, for example. So, a rubbish roll. That's a rubbish roll.
All right.
Use one momentum
Yeah.
to re-roll all your blanks.
Yeah, I suppose I will. 1, 2, 3, reroll. He just wants me to spend all my doom, doesn't he? That wasn't a lot more, but it was a little
Okay.
more.
Then my shield will soak hopefully some of that. So
Oh, 3
3
soak.
soak,
And then you still have
which
your armor,
basically
don't you?
And then you
nets
still get your
a
armor.
0 because I have 2 armor on everything.
Well done. Well done. So his knife
Okay,
attack classes.
And in
Against your
this case, I will use my new riposte talent.
On you go. I thought I
so
had
you
the-
get the doom.
I got the
and
jump on
I'll-
him, but no.
Yeah. And I'll make a melee attack against him.
So, riposte, yeah. Here.
Oh, wait just a second. After successfully making a defend reaction. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
that was
didn't.
not a
Okay.
successful.
Fair?
Yeah.
You didn't successful, did you? Yeah, you
Oh,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
so-
I'll need to actually
Okay.
defend.
Parry, yeah.
Yeah.
So he acted, and I think I'm just going to act once more with my doom. That's it. I'm going to have a group of warriors running towards you here and spotting you. That's a bit mean. I'm just going to position them there and position this.
How many of them?
This is actually 5.
The group's of 2, right?
This is a
Oh,
group
groups
of
of
5.
5.
We've got, sorry, I've got the same token on them and stuff, which is not helpful. I appreciate that. The group that's closest to 0 is actually 5 of them. So that's actually minion. The others
Okay.
are toughened.
The next
The other two
Durso?
are toughened.
Oh, okay.
What about the one on its own up top?
Also toughened. So they have a full bar next to them. That basically means that they're a mob. And they're 5.
Yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
But I'm not going to let them attack yet. So, your turn, guys.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and attack the one in front of me.
Yeah. So, combat rules, by the way, I'm still learning them as well. So if I'm doing anything wrong, tell me. But if you wanted to look at the rules reference for anything, I'm just going to show you that again.
Oh, it's a player screen there, isn't it now? Yes, I didn't realise that there.
Yeah, the first thing that should pop up is the playmat. If you load the
Yeah.
PDF, then you
Mhm.
basically have the playmat there with all the information on it. And then you've got lots of other pages down the side about what actions you can take and so on.
Yeah, you've created a player screen, haven't you?
Yeah, I also created player screen, I think. Did I?
Yes.
With
Yes, you
combat,
did.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good.
Rules notes.
It's very good.
Don't know yet.
What module is that?
What, GM screen?
The player screen is not the GM.
It's called GM screen. Yeah, but whatever I share for you pops up as GM screen. Sorry, as player screen, and what I don't share is GM screen.
Okay. I
okay.
use GM screen. I've never realised it was a player bit.
Yeah, if you go into the configuration and the grid tab configuration and say shared, then basically you can share some stuff, which is excellent for shortcuts for tables and so on.
Oh, excellent. It's really good.
So, yeah, Dozo.
All right. Using momentum for 3 successes.
Right. I think 3 successes. Is he going to try and parry? Any parry?
You
As a toughened, he should be.
Yeah, toughened can parry.
Yeah.
Can parry, and that is a combat roll.
Should be, yeah.
Ooh, complication.
That's nice. All right.
And you still hit him anyway.
Yeah.
And just stole one of yours.
Basically, do we get momentum if you parry? Or do you spend a doom if you parry?
I spent a doom.
No, he spends doom.
You don't
Okay.
get momentum.
Would have been too easy.
Yeah.
All right. Damage with the Kopesh. Yeah. I'm gonna.
He's got armor. A little bit.
Yeah, I'll spend
Looks good.
momentum to re-roll.
Yeah, there you
blanks.
go.
Not
this is
much
now
better.
7.
But
Intense,
Oh, yeah.
vicious.
so
one.
10
Vicious.
damage.
10 with the,
Vicious is
with the
10.
vicious.
Intense is double
So
damage.
that would be 2 wounds and
And with 2 wounds, he goes down.
right. And with my movement, I will engage the minion squad
Uh-huh.
and spend 2 momentum for another attack.
Kira is nodding. That's very heroic of you.
Yes.
Actually, we have 3 there. I will actually use another one because it's more difficult.
Yeah. 2 successes.
But I think we're good to go here.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough.
And there are
Yeah,
minions, you said, so no parrying here.
No parrying now.
All right.
So many dice.
And re-rolling this one here.
Oh,
7.
ouch.
You basically take one
So
out
11
completely.
damage.
I have 1 there.
1 is gone, and that carries over. 11 damage, did you say? It's 2
11
gone.
damage.
Yeah.
2 gone.
And let me just quickly check something here.
Don't tell me you've got a 3rd attack.
No.
Well,
But I
intense
actually do
makes
more
more
damage
wounds.
because my weapon is vicious 2. Actually, because of the blood on steel talent. So that would be actually 15 damage.
You spend momentum for that? Or doom?
It's
Oh,
an
yeah,
effect.
spend
It's
something for that.
Yeah, that's probably.
Yes, like I can spend a momentum to
It's a
add
talent, I know that.
vicious +1 basically to my weapon.
Yeah, but since I already have +1, it counts as +2. So
Yeah. So
3,
it makes basically instead
6,
of 4 vicious, 8 vicious damage.
7,
A total of 15.
9, 10,
15.
11, 12.
Wow.
Yeah,
You
15.
know, that actually should take down 3 then, shouldn't it?
If they don't have armor.
Actually, they have armor, you're right.
So, yeah.
And you don't have armor piercing.
No, no
So
piercing here.
I'll leave it as it is then. Good.
Okay.
So you're still like a dervish. You're jumping at them. your blade, as usual, is flying. They don't actually quite know what's hit them because they were trying to go after that tasty little lady in front of them. But yeah, you've managed to dispatch 2 of these ape men. Now, next, Mortaz or Kryos? Kryos wants to go next.
I guess you can go ahead.
Yeah, that one stuck in the back there. Nice little line of sight. I'm going to take a shot at
Trying
him.
to ping him.
And I'm probably going to get a second attack on him if he doesn't go down. So I'll use 2 momentum.
Mm-hmm. You have a complication.
Ooh, yeah.
When I say you're spending a load from your ammo,
Okay.
basically. Right, so, ouch. That's a pretty good shot, though.
Okay.
He can't really do much against it, but he can try and dodge it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You've done the damage already.
This
Do
is-
the damage.
Let me re-roll.
7.
If he doesn't dodge it.
Um,
7 with piercing 1.
yeah, I'm just. Is that combat? I don't know, it's movement, isn't it?
That's acrobat. Yeah, with the movement.
So he actually
Oh.
does have 2 successes.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
just
he dodges my arrow, yes?
He dodges your arrow and he dives back behind cover. So otherwise, that would have been quite ouch.
Yep, okay.
Shira.
Mortas.
Did Shira already go?
No, I'm
I'll go.
last.
I want to really find out
Oh.
what you do before I go to Shira.
Okay, so yeah, I was just
And the main
gonna
weapon.
craft. Let's see. Difficulty 3.
Yeah. So you've got your, what was it, brimstone something?
Oh, yeah, it was 3 successes. Disregard that momentum. Yeah. And so I'm just gonna move up closer to Durzo and everyone with the thing I'm holding.
What does it look like what you're holding?
Pretty much like a bomb. That's kind of, you can see it's like has burning liquid inside of it.
Is it lit? Is it on fire?
No.
Are you running towards Shira with a
Not
lit
yet.
bomb
Not yet.
and saying, "Oh, look what I brought"? Shira, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna have my whip, which I've already had in hand, and my dagger in my other hand, and I'm going to whip one of them.
Now the whip has a reach of 2, right?
3.
I think.
3.
3. So I thought that
That makes
Given-
it easier for you to hit or harder to defend. Never remember.
But it was only if the others are parrying. Then, like if it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
struggle, then you.
Yeah.
Huh? Is that correct?
if it's a struggle,
Oh.
then
Yeah.
Let's hand wave that for
For
me.
the
You have a reach advantage anyway.
yeah,
When they attack you, it will be harder for them.
yes.
Right. So on you go. You can whip him.
I'm gonna use a momentum.
1 extra die.
Yeah.
Ooh. Nice. 2 918. It looked like a 20 on my screen for a moment.
It is
Oh, okay.
actually attacking opponent with guard and a longer reach weapon increases difficulty by 1 for each difference in reach.
Yeah,
So-
it increases
Oh.
difficulty.
So you're basically attacking at a D0 if they have.
So actually, that would
reach
give
2
you
weapons.
that would give you the same, wouldn't it? Just gives you
Okay.
1 more momentum at the end of it.
Okay. Damage.
On you go. They're minions, they don't try to dodge. That's 5 damage. And Fearsome does start to
does
panic,
fear
Mental
damage,
damage.
doesn't it?
inflict
Yeah.
mental damage as well as physical.
but no effects for roll, so
No.
No effects were rolled.
So
No.
5, and they have 1 armor, so 4. Yeah, you basically whip him on the leg.
Mhm.
I'm very angry. 4 goes down to that. Yes. And then, do you want to do anything else with the momentum you've done? You have got.
Can I get close enough so that I can stab him with the dagger?
You can, but it's difficulty harder.
So it would be
two
2?
momentum.
Two momentum.
Yeah, and you got 3, so that's fine.
no, I think if it's a different weapon, it doesn't.
Yeah, isn't this like 2 weapon fighting? I think.
Yeah,
I think it's
it's
only
2
1
weapon-
momentum.
Actually,
Extra attack.
I
One
had-
momentum
Exactly the same
spent.
as the second
Right,
attack
I'll
is.
quick look at momentum spends.
You spend 1 if it's a different weapon.
Yeah.
Difficulty still increased.
So, which one is it?
I
Wind.
don't think it's on the momentum spends.
no, it's
It's like
Frank
further in the
made a
detail
post
page.
about this in the modiphius forum.
no. I had it in the book.
Yeah, I know what
had
you're
it in
talking
the book
about.
as well somewhere. But if you swift action, this is standard action, increasing the difficulty
All right.
by 1 step. So that essentially that would be second attack, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to attack, and I can purchase a momentum to add a dice.
Yes, you can spend a momentum to add a die.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to roll.
It should take it down to 0, I believe. Oh, nice. And then you back up to 3. A 1 and a 2, 4 successes. That's pretty good.
Okay.
So,
And dagger damage.
it's not very high. One damage. You may want to re-roll your blank.
Can I
dice.
re-roll it? How do
For
I?
one- for
What
one
do I do
momentum.
to re-roll?
What you do is you basically click on the dice, on the blank dice. They're all selected. They then go gray in the chat card.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes, I've got
And
that.
then you do right click and say re-roll selected.
It's 1 moment.
Good. Now that's a bit better, isn't it?
A little bit better. Yes.
But that guy is still not down. So. But you have attacked him twice, and you have hit him twice.
That's from the book.
So
It's on page.
you're saying, I use different tools. The cost of momentum spend is reduced to 1. Okay, I'll give you 1 moment back then. Just slightly cheaper.
Okay.
Okay, that actually makes it quite cheap, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Almost too cheap. So you have all acted.
Yep.
My much depleted troops. Oh yeah, actually, Shira, you now need to be really close up.
Yes. Yes, I do.
They have to decide who they're going to attack. I'm going to roll it. I'm going to roll d4. 1 and 2 was Durzo. 3 and 4 is Shira. Shira.
Yay.
Remaining people will be attacking you tonight. Do you want to parry or anything before I roll? Just need to tell whether you want to. Just need to announce it.
I don't think that my parry is 6, so I don't think that. I don't think it's worth it.
Just 1 doomsday.
One
Oh, does it?
Momentum for
Yeah,
extra
it's
dice.
really cheap.
Okay, so I will. All right. So do I have to roll parry?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Just see if
can,
he hits
can
it.
do that after I attack.
He
I
hits
just
it.
needed to declare it first, basically.
Okay. All right.
So, did you have a parry on your weapon? Your knife doesn't have parry, does it?
It does, I believe. Let me just check.
Because then it doesn't cost
Yeah,
you.
parrying. Yeah,
Oh,
the dagger
in this
is
case,
parrying.
it's free.
No, do it for you.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
free. Okay, then
Okay.
I'm going to attack you with a knife, though. And I'm going to spend 1 doom. An extra die.
You could still get complications.
I hope it doesn't overdo it now. So, because each of the opponents can attack you. That's the way that works. So basically, they have
Yeah.
2 successes. You can now try to parry that.
I will. All right. So parry.
A warrior.
Use momentum for extra dice if you need.
Yeah.
Why does it say a warrior? Deleted too much. Oh, okay.
Close one, though.
It was close.
But plus,
You almost did it. Almost did it. So, damage.
but I don't get anything for having the dagger, which is parrying, right?
that basically meant you,
you-
didn't
you-
have to spend a momentum. Or
Oh,
doom
okay.
For
Okay.
parrying.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
So, very enthusiastic die rolling. Oh, it's only 3 on your torso. Have you got any armor on at all? You don't, do you?
Yes, I do, and I have 1 soak.
Okay,
for my
that's
torso.
2 damage get through. That's hardly anything. Come on. That's hardly a scratch.
This but a scratch.
This bit of scratch.
This bit of scratch of flesh.
Yeah, they don't do much damage, do they? You'd think they'd have good strength or brawn
Well,
to
when
actually
they're
get
using the
bonus.
knife, they do.
Don't
less
give them
damage.
ideas.
Yeah.
So I think this other guy,
But
I
they-
think he's going to run up this slope and then launch
But-
himself at Durzo from the
I'm
top.
really not wanting to butt heads with you, but is the brawn really that bad?
Why?
Yeah, because the knife has 4 base damage,
Yeah, exactly.
and normally you get
Oh.
bonus for brawn.
No, the
Yeah.
brawn is.
Not that I'm begging for more
12.
damage,
The
but
brawn is 12.
12 would
Yeah,
actually give you 3 more combat dice.
3 more, yeah, I was going to say, you should be about 7.
Interesting. That doesn't seem to be automated.
It doesn't automate
Because
for enemies.
that's weird because it is for us.
Yeah.
It
But
is
I
automated,
have
yeah.
entered the brawn here.
Maybe
And it
minions
is
don't get that
configured,
boon.
unless I didn't.
Oh, minions
configure
might not.
No, it should make a difference. Damage.
Factory H details. Yeah, it's all correctly configured.
Wait, just for sakes, just roll damage for the ape warrior, the toughen, see if it does.
I can do 3 more damage dice. That's fine.
Yeah, being a minion.
it
No,
should
the
be
other
automated.
ape warrior also only did 4.
Oh, okay. So that would be 1, 2, 3 more damage.
That's 5 damage. That's a wound.
Wound. Sorry, Artsy.
Sorry for that one.
No, well, it makes sense.
It does make sense. So you know you have 1 wound.
Okay, and that's
Let me just quickly.
I can click on that for you.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
It's done.
I see it.
You care to reroll the attack you landed on me?
I haven't.
Then roll down.
attacked yet.
Like first
no,
round.
don't. It's too far long ago. This guy is just jumping at you. I'm going to make sure that we get this one right. So he's also got 12 brawn, and he's going to claw you. That's what he's trying. Launching himself at you. And he's toughened, so he gets 2 dice. And he gets a 20.
I'll parry that one.
You can try.
Get a doom back.
Yeah. No, my first parry is free.
You had one this round, this combat, haven't you? Or have you?
Is it per round or is it per combat?
No, we are already in the next round of the combat now. If they are attacking us again.
If you remember. They started.
Yeah.
One of them started, and no.
Yeah, it's a new round.
So it's fine. You can use this one. So you managed to deflect that, and
well, now it's time for riposte, I think.
yeah,
no.
go on.
Okay.
Do your riposte, and I'm going to give you a bonus die because of his complication.
All right.
Yeah. Get 3 bonus dice.
So
Did you use a free bonus die?
This
Come
is
again?
ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
You said you got a free bonus die.
Yeah,
So-
9 damage. Look at that.
That's 12 damage.
Yes.
So that's
Doing extra
12.
damage.
Once you use
15
the
damage.
intense and the vicious, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
then it's
Oh, never
I
mind.
think that should be enough.
12. You think?
6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I don't think you keep surviving.
You think it's enough?
Yeah, man, I think so. I'm doing like
That's 15, isn't
On
it?
wounds, it is enough.
yeah, I'm doing 2 wounds.
Yeah, it's 15.
Except he
wounds.
has 8 armor.
I really thought this would be strong enough for you, these guys, but clearly they're not. So you managed to dispatch this guy, and I'm pretty sure that the next thing you're going to do is slaughter my remaining warriors. Mortas, what do you want to do?
Since we're just going on melee, I think I'll just go up and stab one of the injured ones.
You want to go melee as well?
I'll save my bomb. Yeah, I'll save.
You were
I'll
going
save
to
my
firebomb
explosion for
your,
later.
your mates here in
No.
area of effect.
Just melee.
One of the
I don't know how
problems.
much
area of
momentum we have.
Also,
but I'll
Frank,
go
you
with
get
that
a
momentum.
tomb for the riposte attack.
Thank you very much.
Complication.
Okay, I'm going to refill my doom bucket with the complications.
Mhm.
Nice.
1 success. I'm going to actually try and move out of the way for that.
Oh, they can't parry.
I know you're right, they're minions. They can't parry you. So, on you go. Damage.
I don't do much, so you're fine here.
There's still 3 of them, but one of them is severely injured.
2 physical damage.
That doesn't really do a lot.
You can reroll with momentum. Just saying.
How much momentum do we have after
2.
Two.
2?
2? Alright, I'll reroll the 2. And if it does anything, 3.
Okay, 1 more.
Did it kill anything?
Not yet. But that one is severely damaged. Right. So who has not gone yet?
Me.
Rios. Oh, yeah,
And me.
Shiro's right.
Yes.
We'll go first
Yes, for
because
Zero first.
Okay. So Shira is going to withdraw as a free action because when I have allies greater than the enemies within reach.
Yeah.
So I believe that that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move back just enough so that I can use my whip.
Yeah.
And I'm going to whip it.
On you go then.
Oh,
And the difficulty is increased because of my wound.
Yes.
Should I buy a momentum? I
You
think I
probably
should.
you can do.
you may
it's
want to
coming-
use fortune to not be affected.
We are almost
by
at the end of the
your
session
Mm.
for tonight anyway, so you can actually
Yeah.
blow a fortune point on it.
Okay, so I'll blow a fortune point.
And also your whip is still a melee weapon, so you...
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
But it's good luck.
We're in the same range, so
So that's 2 successes?
You have 1 success. You needed 2.
Oh, but the using of the fortune?
You didn't click that on the roller, but that means you get another 2 successes. Now you get 2 successes. So that should
3
be enough.
successes. You needed 2. Yeah.
5 damage. You take that one down,
fact.
and your whip dances around a little bit more and damages the next one, but it doesn't take the next.
I can use the effect of grappling.
You can if you want to.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
one of them will be
them
grappled.
is grappled. And just reading them out over briefly, they are unable to move except to do anything except to try and free themselves with acrobatics or
Yes.
athletics.
Yep.
And
How many left?
It's a D1.
1 left.
There's 2 left now.
2 left.
Yeah, you just whip one of them to the ground, but there's 2 left.
Okay, let me stick some arrows in them.
Just don't roll complications because you've got some people engaged in melee.
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't.
You could choose a fortune auto hit.
Yeah, why not? Because end of session, I'm going to use fortune.
Like one of those
Go
those
on.
impossible shots.
Go on.
I still want to roll the remaining dice just for the fun of it because I want extra momentum to get a second shot.
Yeah, you
So-
do.
So the first shot hits and does. Oh wow, that's a good roll.
10 damage and piercing.
Does 1 arrow go through 2 of them?
Essentially, yes. But actually, no, with the 10, you cause a wound. But because they have armor, piercing doesn't. Yeah, actually, it goes through 2 of them. But we don't all have to say it was just 1 shot. You could have had loosened 2 shots. But basically, let's just close it. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I need something much, much bigger to scare you. Yeah, Shira is a bit injured, though.
Yes.
But other than that, everybody else is just not even breaking into sweat. So the last fight was a bit better. Balancing is still tricky for me. So you have cleared this immediate area of opponents. What do you want to do for the last 5 minutes?
Heal me?
Heal me, please.
I mean,
I'll permanently heal.
I'll go over and yeah,
So
do the healing. But that's the thing I don't quite understand with the healing skill, because now that the scene is over, we just automatically refill our
Not wounds, though. You
Not
don't do
wounds.
wounds.
Not wounds.
no, but our vigor and resolve.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the only thing we took now.
Yeah.
So the healing skill is basically useless.
If you want to heal during,
because it
mid
doesn't
fight,
heal a
combat,
wound?
maybe during combat. You want to get someone healed during combat.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but
But it doesn't heal a wound?
No.
You can treat
not
a wound.
permanently.
to
You can
make
treat it.
Patch it up.
yeah.
you spent your fortune to treat it.
But basically, now that the
it's
scene is over, you just refill your vigor and without any checks, rolls, or talents needed.
Yeah.
But it will keep on, but the wound will keep on affecting me in terms of my
If it
rolls.
reopens.
Yeah.
Did you get the
If it
wound?
reopens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Get a wound.
Yeah.
So basically, to
Oh,
treat it,
okay.
you right-click on it, and then it becomes a star.
Wait, but I
Okay.
thought he treated it with a fortune. No?
No, you used fortune to get hit.
Yeah, I didn't.
So this
Still learning.
I used fortune to heal.
this wound should not, if it's treated, do me a healing roll anyway. I can't exactly remember the rules myself.
Right.
But basically, if you treat it, I think you are not actually affected by it, but it counts still as a wound. So the next one actually will trigger 2 wounds. It will break it open again.
Yeah.
So
Very good
5
roll.
successes on that one.
Very good roll.
Okay.
And I was just looking at recovery.
Thank
here.
you.
Pleasure.
All stress is recovered at the end of an action scene. Harm, though, must be treated. We've done that with the appropriate skill healing. A skill to treat harm can be attempted only once per day, with a difficulty equal to the number of harms. Difficulty 1. In this case. On a success, 1
okay.
harm is treated and 1 additional for each momentum spent. So you could have treated lots of things. Treated harms impose no penalties, but it doesn't mean it's fully healed. If the character suffers a new harm of the same type, the treated harms immediately return due to the strain. Yeah, complete healing takes time, rest, and possibly the attention of a healer. So that's basically after the adventure or with a proper rest. So that means you're carrying this wound, but for the next rolls, it should not impact you anymore.
Do you
Thank
need
you.
someone with a ability surgeon, or do you need to just go to a hospital and spend the gold, I think?
You just need downtime, don't you? That's all you do.
Yeah, I
Downtime,
think
proper-
so.
That's what it's
Yeah.
come down to. Basically, you can't get rid of wounds during an adventure.
So your vigor is full, however. So
it's like something you do for carousing.
for example,
Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
treatment. And it can actually cost money as well if you need a healer. You may have to pay them. So I'm just going to bring this to close then with the last bits. And that basically is a little bit more that the freed people are telling you now. And I'm not going to play this all out. You need to take a note just in case I forget next time to tell you these things. So, where is it? There is another man being held over there, over yonder. He's locked up and chained down as another person. He was here long before us, and he seems to be very important. The master of the apes. We believe that they have hidden an artifact of great power somewhere here in these ruins as well. Not sure what it is.
You said he was chained up?
There's another person chained up, yes. We hear him whimper sometimes, but he was here before us and he's being treated differently. Some of us have seen him. And they tell you some horrible stories as well, which we didn't do lines and veils, but basically they are intending to use some of these people here for a breeding program.
Do you know what name he goes by? Bahim?
This other person.
Yeah, the other person that was chained. The person that was chained.
Did they hear a name? No, I don't think they heard a name.
Yeah, no.
We need to rescue him and find out if there is indeed a great artifact of power here. Is this
also,
for next session, Frank? Is that the plan?
That will be for the next session. Next session on the 20th. If you can make it. If not, then we'll find a way of writing you out of this. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
I think Septimus will be here, though, right?
Septimus should be back for the next session as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll all be here for who knows what.
Yeah. In fact, I've spent another few hours now trying to get my head around that Shadow of the Sorcerer. And I was starting to work out how I can actually run this, but it's so overwritten. It's one of the things on Modiphius' materials. They're completely overwritten. They could have said the same thing in half the words. And they could have simplified the plotline easily without losing anything.
The same with the core, with the rule book. If you put the same information in less words, you get like half the book.
Yeah, that's right.
Remove the pictures, you get a quarter of the book.
Yeah, that's right.
The pictures are important, though.
The pictures are nice, though. I like the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close it there. It's certainly for the stream. And that's actually really exactly on the dot, 21:30.
Hmm.
So thank you very much for those who have watched or those who are still watching or will be in future. I hope you enjoyed it. And we are getting slightly faster with the battles now because we know a little bit more about how to spend momentum. But we do still need to learn some stuff. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll be seeing you roughly in a week's time. Right? Next week. So farewell. See you then.
See ya.
Oh, well.
Bye.